Hello guys, myself LK Tripathi, your SST teacher from LPM Public School. Dear children, we have a new video as we have been discussing about the Chandragupta II. Chandragupta II was regarded as the Vikramaditya. He was also titled from Maharaja Dhiraj. Now let's start the new video about that. During the reign of Chandragupta II, Fahian visited India. Who was Fahian? Fahian was a Chinese traveler, Chinese pilgrim who visited India in the court of Chandragupta II. And also he wrote many things in his account about the Gupta reign. He was a Chinese pilgrim. He spent 6 years visiting Buddhist monasteries and left a detailed account on different aspects of life under the Guptas. Much more things he wrote about the Guptas. He talks about Patliputra, Gupta administration and the society, religion and culture of this period. Many of the things about the society, about the religion, about the trade, and all sorts of things he wrote in his account, which is available nowadays also in the libraries of India, which we can study going there. Now later Gupta. After end of Gupta, who assumed the throne of the country? Chandragupta II was succeeded by his son Kumar Gupta. After his death, his son assumed the throne of Gupta dynasty. He was also known as Mahendraditya. Towards the end of his reign, a tribe in the Narmada Valley called the Pushyamitras became powerful enough to threaten the empire. Pushyamitra, who established the Sunga dynasty in India after end of Kumarditya, Pushyamitra established his power enough to threaten the empire. He was a cruel type of ruler of that period and assumed the throne of Gupta dynasty. Kumar Gupta was succeeded by his son Skandagupta, who is considered to be the last of the great rulers of Gupta dynasty. He defeated the Pushyamitras. Soon afterwards, the empire was threatened by the Huns. उसके बाद हुनों का शासन यहाँ पर होता है. They were a nomadic tribe of Central Asia. Skandagupta defeated the Huns. However, after his death, the Huns overran a large part of North India, destroying towns and massacring people. The successors of Samudragupta were incapable. Soon the vast empire collapsed and the glorious rule of the Gupta came to an end. इसका शासन खत्म हो जाता है गुप्ता का और एक ग्लोरियस जो रोल था गुप्ता पीरियड का, गुप्ता डायनेस्टी का, वो अब खत्म हो गया. अब देखते हैं लाइफ अंडर द गुप्तास. किस तरह का लाइफ था गुप्ता काल में लोगों की एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. द गुप्ता हैड वेल ऑर्गेनाइज्ड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. द किंग वाज ऑल पावरफुल. ए काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स assisted the king in administrative matters. Very systematic organization of administration was there during the Gupta. All the powers were practiced by the king. King was all in all. Also a council of ministers was formed there to advise the king time to time in the administrative matters. Each district comprised a number of villages which served as the smallest administrative unit. Princes were usually appointed as governors of provinces. They were assisted by a group of officials called Kumar Matyas. The districts or Vishyas were administered by the Ayuktas. There was also a district council in each district which helped in maintaining an efficient administration. A council of village elders looked after village administration. We can say the administrative system was divided in very systematic and powerful manner, which acted for the king. The last decision about the administration was taken by the king. That was all in all. The Gupta administration was decentralized in structure. The officials of the various provinces and districts enjoyed a certain degree of autonomy and independence. Earlier, the Gupta officials were paid in cash. Later, instead of cash, land was granted to them, from which they could collect revenue equivalent to their salary. This practice weakened the king's position. The officials started exercising supreme power in area assigned to them and tried to break away from the empire. After the decline of the Guptas, many of them began to rule as independent rulers. The administration was decentralized. Mutual rivalry started. As a result, it weakened the power of Gupta period. As a result, the Gupta dynasty declined and many of the officers of Gupta administration became independent. They established their own power in their territory and regions. Social life, यहाँ की social life किस तरह की थी? People led a happy, comfortable and prosperous life. According to Fayan, the standard of living was quite high. इस पीरियड में लोगों का जीवन स्तर बहुत ही ऊंचा था. They lived a very prosperous and luxurious life under the Gupta administration. Most people lived in villages and led a simple and honest life. बहुत सारे लोग जो है ये गांव में रहते थे and they were very simple, pious and led a very honest life. Laws were simple and punishments were not very harsh. Agriculture was the main occupation of the people. Much of the revenue came from land. However, the artifacts and monuments of this period found at different sites suggest that they had mastered and perfected a number of crafts. It further led to the stratification of society into a number of occupation-based caste categories. The caste system had become extremely rigid. Besides the four main castes, many subcastes had also come into existence. The Chandalas or untouchables were looked down upon by others and considered impure. They lived outside the town and village and performed menial jobs for the higher caste. Women led a restricted life. They were created inferior to men. They were married off early and numerous restrictions were imposed on them. They received no education. They were discouraged from participating in social and political activities. Trade Now let's see the trade. During the early phase of the Gupta rule, both internal and external trade prospered. Trade flourished on the western coast with the ports of Bharuch, Chopara, and Kalyan serving as major centers. The Guptas had trade contacts with Western Asia, Africa, and Arabia. Tamralipti, a port on the east coast, handled trade with Suvarnabhumi, Yavadipa, the Cambodia. Goods exported from India included spices, pearls, ivory, etc. Perfumes, textiles, and precious stones were the major items of trade. This made the Gupta kingdom rich. It also helped to spread Indian culture to these places. Religion, what type of religion they practice in the society? The Gupta period saw a remarkable revival of Hinduism. Most of the Gupta kings were worshippers of Vishnu and Shiva. However, they were tolerant towards other religions. Religious sacrifices such as the Ashwamedha were performed. Since the Brahmins performed these religious sacrifices, they held a very important position in the society. Idol worship became popular, probably for the first time, and a large number of temples were built. The Gupta rulers encouraged Hinduism by giving donations for the construction of temples. All forms of worship and rituals were carried out in Sanskrit. The common man could not follow the language. Moreover, the sacrifices became costly. This gave rise to the bhakti, encouraging selfless personal devotion to God without rituals or ceremonies. We can say at last that Gupta society enjoyed very prosperous and luxurious life. They were very much fond of Hindu religions. They believed in Hindu ceremony, Hindu rituals, and Hindu practices. So next we shall discuss in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.